I just finished reading the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I'm going to share with you a few key points that impacted me the most. Now, this isn't meant to be a full, comprehensive review of the book or an outline of what's in it. I'm just going to pick out a few key points and quotes that really influenced me, and hopefully this will give you a little bit of an idea of what's in this book. This is a great book for the beginning of the year, for a birthday, for really any point in your life where you're looking to make real significant change. So I highly recommend that you get a copy of this book. There's a link to it in the description. The first key point in Atomic Habits, and it's a really obvious one, it's in the title and the whole point of the book, is that habits are important. So here's one sentence that really stuck out to me. The quality of our lives often depends on the quality of our habits. So when it comes to life change, we often focus a lot on goals and our motivation to get there. You know, how much we want something, how much we're gonna push for it. But really, our lives are the sum of all of our habits, the things that we do habitually every single day without even thinking about it. So if we're gonna make real significant life change, it really does start at the atomic level, at the core level, and that's our habits, all the small building blocks of actions that we take every single day of our lives. Another key point that stuck out to me is that small changes matter. And let me read to you another quote from this book. It's so easy to overestimate the importance of one defining moment and to underestimate the value of making small improvements on a daily basis. Too often, we convince ourselves that massive success requires massive action. And that is so true, because when we look at like inspirational stories and success stories, there's a lot of focus on that one defining moment. The one defining moment in your life, or the one event that just changed everything around, that completely altered your trajectory in life. And it's very seldom that that's the case. More often than not, it's the small changes that we make in our daily lives, but it's very boring to talk about. No one gets excited about, improving your daily routines. But really, it's the accumulation of all those small changes that make a massive impact. It's like compound interest. The more you do it repeatedly, it becomes a multiplying and even an exponential effect on your life. Now, the third point that stuck out to me is really the crux of this book, and it's that real change comes through systems. And let me read to you two different quotes that I believe really help affirm this concept. Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. And the next quote is, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Now, in the self-improvement, personal development space, there's a lot of focus on goals. During New Year's, everybody wants to create goals. Even in your jobs, your work, there's a lot of focus on setting your goals. There's a ton of business and corporate stuff around creating SMART goals. When it comes to achieving anything, goals really drive and control our lives. Goals may give you a target to go after, but it relies a lot on your own personal motivation and work ethic. And many times that's really hard to muster up, especially when there are challenges that come your way. So what systems do is it helps define the actions that you do daily to get you towards that goal. Systems help automate the actions for you to take, whether or not you feel like taking them, because they're just a part of your normal everyday routine. The fourth key takeaway from this book is that your environment governs your systems and habits. I'm going to read to you two more quotes that help to explain this. Your habits change depending on the room you're in and the cues in front of you. Environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. And the next quote is, most people live in a world others have created for them. Environment design allows you to take back control and become the architect of your life. Be the designer of your world and not merely the consumer of it. Our decisions are influenced and automated by the environment around us, the room that we're in, the things that are in that room, and how we interact with that room. So rather than constantly fight against our environment, we can actually just create an environment that works for us. In any day, in any given room, it's probably filled with distractions that are pulling you away from the things that you want to do and pulling you towards things that you don't want to do. So rather than fighting against that temptation, just create an optimal environment that removes that temptation, removes those distractions, and encourages the habits that you actually want to do. Create an environment where everything in the room serves a purpose, and that purpose is to help you do the habits that you want to do. So those were some of my key takeaways from this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. I absolutely loved it. It's full of great stories, a lot of practical use cases from individuals to companies, corporations, various organizations. There's also a lot of research, like well done research in here, so it's not a lot of fluff. He references a lot of papers that have been written around this topic by experts. So there's a lot of evidence for all the lessons that are in this book. It's something that I will definitely be reading again. Have you read the book Atomic Habits? If you have, share with me in the comments and let me know what you thought about it and what parts stood out the most to you. Thanks so much for joining me on this video. My name is Steven, and once again, I talk a lot about topics around personal development and self-improvement. If you're into that kind of thing, please subscribe and I'll put out a lot more videos like this. Thanks a lot.